Do you believe in ghosts? Your answer to that question will most likely depend on whether or not you have had a personal experience with the paranormal. In a recent study by About.com, 71% of people in the US have had a paranormal experience. In addition, ThoughtCatalog.com concluded 60% of Americans believe other people have had real ghost experiences. Now, every person who claimed to have had an experience may not have had a legitimate one. However, the occurrences are too common for none of them to be admissible. Many different evidences prove their existence, but before getting into that, let me tell you what has made me believe without any research. Whether or not you believe in them, everyone loves a ghost story, so I will tell you two. The first is personal, and the other happened to people within my family. From 7 through 9 years old, my parents, sister, and I all lived in a duplex. Below us lived my grandfather and his mother, my great-grandmother. For those who do not know what a duplex is, it is a house divided into 2 apartments, with a separate entrance for each family. Our apartment was set up so when you open my bedroom door, looking out, you can see straight down the hallway to the kitchen. When I was 8 years old, my great-grandmother passed away in her sleep. A few days after her death, I woke up from my sleep incredibly thirsty. So, I opened my door to go to the kitchen, and when I looked down the hallway, there stood a white apparition that appeared to be a woman, and waved at me. I was completely petrified. Something like this was only real in movies, so I thought. Not until the apparition faded was I able to run back into bed and hide under the covers, to stay awake all night. That was the most unearthly thing to ever happen to me. Until this day, I can vividly remember the entire night. Now, the second story is even spookier. My other grandfather's father passed away about 20 years ago. The night of his funeral, my grandfather and grandmother both saw his father at their bedroom closet door while laying in bed together. When the apparition faded away, they looked at each other and said, "Did you just see what I saw?" They both saw the same thing at the same time. Now, if you think that is weird, on top of that, it wasn't until a few years later at a family get-together that my grandfather's brother told how he saw their father as well, around the same time, same night. The brother did not even know that my grandparents saw the same thing before he told them. This was definitely not just something out of emotion, because they all saw the same thing, and even to this day they remember the entire story. Some of the ghost stories that you read online or see on TV may make you think, maybe they're just making it up. However, when you have had a personal experience or a family member tells you something like that, you have no choice other than to believe. So that is what I am here to do. Prove to you that ghosts aren't just your fictional Casper the Friendly Ghost or some phony YouTube video. But before doing that, I would like to share with you a fake video posted by Gaurav Sharma that friends have tried to scare me with numerous times. Even though videos and movies like this are just made for harmless entertainment purposes, they discredit the actual evidence of ghosts' existence. Faulty clips make the topic of ghosts more of a joke rather than a legitimate matter. However, there is plenty of evidence that proves their existence. There are too many occurrences for none to be valid. One type that grabs a lot of people's attention is a photograph. Now, of course there are many that have been tinkered with. However, the 2 that I am about to show you are popular and dated photographs that are real and unedited. The 2 are also examples of a haunting. Maurice Townsend from asap.ac.uk defines a haunting as a series of unexplained experiences generally associated with a particular physical location. This first image has been named the Tulip Staircase Ghost. A retired clergyman named Ralph Hardy took this picture in 1966, along with his wife. Stephen Wagner from ParanormalAbout.com writes that they both said to have not have seen anything that could have caused the apparition. It was taken in the Queen's House in Greenwich, England. Of course, the photograph was closely examined by experts, including some from Kodak, and was verified to not be modified. After being proven valid, the image served as evidence that the paranormal experiences in the Queen's House were real. Those experiences included hearing of footsteps, random slamming doors, and voices of children often heard around the staircase. Also, there have been numerous people say that while touring, they were pinched. Along with that, a gallery assistant at the Queen's House shared his experience, and he said, "Myself and 2 colleagues were talking about which brakes we were on when something caught my eye. One of the doors from the bridge room closed, then he saw the woman and I thought at first it was the girl who does the talks on weekends. Then realized the woman just glided across the balcony and went through the wall west side. I could not believe what I saw. I went very cold and the hairs on my arms and neck were on end. We went into the Queen's presence room and looked down toward the old Queen's bedroom and something passed through the ante room and out through the wall. My 2 colleagues also did feel cold at that time. The lady was dressed in a white-gray color, old-fashioned, something like a crinoline type dress." This second image has a bit more of a disturbing story. It has been named the Brown Lady. It is known as one of the most famous ghost photographs ever captured. Captain Provident captured the photo along with Indra Shira in 1936. Stephen Wagner from ParanormalAbout.com tells the story of this photograph. Both photographers were on a job to take pictures of the Rynham Hall for Country Life magazine. Experts at the Country Life offices closely examined the image and declared it to be untampered with. The apparition in the image is thought to be a woman named Dorothy Townshend, which owned a brown dress, similar to the one in the apparition. She was the wife of Charles Townshend in the early 1700s. There were rumors that before marrying Charles, she was cheating on him with another man, and Charles had a feeling this was happening. According to legal records, she died and was buried in 1726. However, it was very suspected that the funeral was a hoax, and he actually locked his wife up in the house for her to die years later. Daniel Parkinson from MysteriousBritain.co.uk further elaborates on the ghost's background. Prior to the photograph being taken, there were multiple reports of seeing the same gray see-through apparition. Lucius C. Stone had the first sighting in 1836 during a Christmas get-together. Also, one of the guests at the party claimed to have had witnessed a figure in a brown dress. The next was by Captain Marriott, an author. He actually requested to stay in the house because he wanted to investigate the haunting for himself. The armed man encountered the ghost, and from being so startled, he let off a shot straight through the apparition, into a wall. The most recent sighting up until the photograph was in 1926 when Lady Townshend admitted to her son and his friend to have seen the ghost on the stairs in the photograph. Due to all of these occurrences in the same area of the house, the apparition could very well be the ghost of the dead woman. There are two main theories that attempt to explain that what people are constantly seeing and hearing are not actually ghosts. One is named the stone tape theory. According to Steve Goodman from ForensicArchitecture.org, it was first introduced in the 1970s as a possible explanation for ghosts. The theory states that when high tension is in the atmosphere, such as during murder, an inanimate object could absorb that energy. That stored energy can then be released and displayed. The replay of the energy could come in the form of a sound or visual. Monstrous.com states that it also builds off the magnetic tape theory, which claims that what is seen and heard could be produced by our body's natural electric and magnetic fields. The fluctuation of those magnetic fields is determined by many factors such as magnetic minerals, tectonic stresses, and electronic equipment. The theory claims that those fluctuating magnetic fields can trick the mind, resulting in people hearing or seeing what they believe to be a ghost. Those two theories may explain many of the phenomena with people hearing and seeing what they believe is a paranormal act. However, this does not explain my experience. Those explanations are simply theories, not scientific fact. There are many cases where the theories can be applicable, but not all. On the other hand, there is scientific fact that comes from Einstein's first law of thermodynamics. Matter and energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Furthermore, energy can also be transferred into another form. So then, what happens to our body's energy when we die? Benjamin Radford from LiveScience.com makes an incredible comment that states, "Since our body's energy must go somewhere after we die, it could be manifested into a ghost." That could very well be true. A Gallup poll concluded that 45% of people between 18 and 29 years old believe in ghosts, and I'm a part of that population. I'm completely certain as to what I saw, as well as many other people are. Anyone who has had a ghostly experience is quite unlikely to say they are not real. Therefore, because of that, you should not dismiss their existence. When someone has had an experience such as mine, no theory would suffice to make him or her believe it was something other than a ghost.